Hello, everyone.
Good evening.
Welcome to Piccadilly Stampin'.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
I am Pamela Pick. This is my husband, Bill Pick.
Hello.
Come on in and join us. Say hello. Let us know where you're from, especially if you're new. Hi, Jean. Hi, France. Hi, Beth Ann. Hi, Kristen. Hi, Jennifer. Are you seeing anyone that I'm not?
I'm not on yet.
Oh, Bill's still trying to get on. I hope
Yeah.
people don't have trouble. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Angie. Angie says, hello, Pix. Thanks for sharing, Jean. Hi, Deb. Thanks for sharing. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Anna. Woohoo! Thank you guys for sharing. I appreciate that. Remember, we have a drawing tonight from last week since we didn't do a parfait.
That's right. Are you doing a parfait this week?
We're doing a parfait this week, yep.
Okay.
I got some really cute stuff happening. So the announcements are really going to be kind of simple this morning. Let's start with that. Sign up for my newsletter if you haven't already. I sent one out today, actually, explaining the new kit that is available. It is a magnetic board. It's absolutely super cute. I bought 2.
You did?
Well, whoops, I forget he's here sometimes. He's got his mouth open looking at me. I'm thinking they're going to go right there. Okay. It's going to help with the organization. I don't know how because I have an absolute pigsty at the moment in here. Let's see what we got in here. Okay, there is the All Together bundle, which is brand new, and it's really cool. I actually just got the new blends. There's all different kinds of blends. If I would sit here and pull them all out, I'd have them out of order because they're labeled.
They're all over.
Yeah, but it's called All Together, and it has paper. It has the flesh tones, all different flesh tones. It's got a really, let me show you this side, and a die set. Here we go. So here's the blends. I don't have like extremely high quality printer, but it's got black and white, which you guys know I love the black and white.
Pop of color.
Well, I do like it with the pop of color, but this is just black and white. Okay. And it has some with hands on it that you can actually color. Then it's got, you know, the hand heart.
Hand heart.
Yeah, and the, what do you call that? I don't know. Anyway, it says here for you and you matter. So this is a new promotion. What'd you say?
Pinky things. I can't see.
Yeah, the pinky shake. There it is, the pinky shake. So I like the sayings. Love changes everything. You matter to me. Every act of kindness changes the world. We'll get through it together. I promise. So it's really cute. If you are interested in that, that is available on my online store, and you'll find that. There is a promotion going on right now with Stampin' Up! That you get 2 free stamps when you join on. And I did a little math. If you were to pick the most expensive one, that could be up to a $65 value on top of the $125 of products that you get to pick out. And you get all of that for $99. They even pay the shipping. So this is really awesome. If you're new to me, just want you to know that we have I have a Perks Rewards program. Every $35 purchase per time, you get 1 letter to the word Piccadilly. When you get Piccadilly spelt out, you get a $25 shopping spree on me. I have Celebration Appreciation. Listen, you guys, I got a couple of you who are just under $100 to get what you need. Some are like within $25, $30. If you spend $200 with me, I have something kind of new I'm doing this year. There's a kit, there's a stamp set, there's all kinds of stuff that goes into a goodie bag of just crafting supplies for you guys. If you spend $300 with me in January and February, you get that plus a $25 stamp set of your choice. So, and let's end right there. That's good enough for announcements right now.
My phone decided it was going to update.
Oh, well, that's why you can't get on. I had some updates. I had a couple of cards come in that I wanted to share. This is this is my very first Valentine's Day card, too. This is from my downline, Emily. So thank you, Emily. Isn't that cute?
That is very nice, Emily.
And this is from my good friend, Marcia. And
Marcia?
This
is that the one you got yesterday?
Yeah. This thing is really cute. First of all, this is Celebration paper from a year ago. I love this paper. But she used my favorite. She used the You're Amazing and my favorite little flowers from that. She even decorated on the inside. So, super cute, Marcia. Thank you, guys. All right, so where do we want to begin? Let's get the dad joke calendar out of the way. Did you hear NASA found another planet? It's out of this world. Grown.
Grown.
So, do you have any before we get going?
Oh, you want me to do it now? German sausage jokes are just the worst. Like liverwurst.
It's from the calendar again. Worst. Well, that one was kind of funny, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Well, I got back in there.
You're in? You got your update and you're in. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So tonight's card is going to take a little bit of time to put together because it's got several steps, but it's really cute and actually it's really easy. I just want to make sure that I'm explaining it all to you. How many of you have seen or are still debating on the Flowering Fields Designer Series paper? What?
Nick goes, thanks for the joke. I nearly woke the kids laughing.
Oh, she liked it?
I guess.
This paper is amazing. I'm not even trying to it is absolutely gorgeous, beautiful paper. And let me show you some of the stuff. The colors are vibrant. I love it. If you like, what are these called? Tulips, you'll love it. But even if you don't, the other side is just kind of these patterns that are really easy and bright and fun to use too. So I'm going to pull this piece out because this was the piece that I chose to use. This is the first time I did a paper share and I had a 6x6, but I knew I was going to want more of this, so I bought another 12x12 and I haven't played with it yet. So this card is the very first thing that I played with using this paper, and I chose this tulip side because
Very pretty. Very popular paper, it sounds like.
Yeah, I had an idea. I'm also going to be using, from the Flowering Tulips, I'm going to be using, this is the bundle set, and I'm just going to be using one of the dies. Where's my packet? Here it is.
I don't know.
So let's even just start here because this is going to take a while. So if you buy the dies together, here's the die that I wanted to use. So it's just like a little kind of growth of tulips there. And if you buy the set together, you do save 10%. If you're new and joining in right now, please tell us where you're from. I wanted to use the contour scalloped dies, and I'm using this one. It is the medium one in here, and I use that to cut out this piece of basic white. So we're going to start with these two dies right at the moment. And I'll show this when the time comes. Let's go with this. Let's start with this. So let me get a piece of scratch paper. And I'm going to put that down here on our mat.
Pauline's from Minnesota. Hi, Pauline.
Woohoo! Why do I attract Minnesotans?
I don't know.
Because usually I have so many Minnesotan friends. Okay, so the color palette, obviously, that I picked was Pumpkin Pie and Mango Melody. So, France, if you're watching, I know you'll love it. And I'm adding My pumpkin pie label has faded. It's actually this color. But I've added Evening Evergreen, just following the colors that are in the paper. So I want to take the pumpkin pie. It's weird. It looks yellow because it's faded on that side. But I want to
Why
take...
is it faded?
Because it sits in my lights.
Oh,
I have these 4
gotcha.
lights so that So I'm going to take the pumpkin pie, and I'm going to take a sponge dauber here. And what I want to do to start is just get... My pumpkin pie is a little dry, so we're going to... There we go. We got a nice little wet. And I want to just do a little bit of sponging here to give a little bit of variance on... This is the Mango Melody is what I cut it out in. And then I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to do some darker than others. And I'll even do some little dabs down here just to give a little bit of a variance in this paper.
They love that dye.
This dye is so cute. And wait when you see. I want some to be really dark. Like that. So they stand out a little bit more. I'm not done. So you do what you like. And let's see how that looks. So you see how some... Let me hold it there. You tell me.
It looks good.
If my hand shows it very well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Look at it. It looks pretty good.
Okay. So done with that.
Genius.
Now, I have a piece, because I want this to dry while I'm working. I have a piece of white that has been cut at 3 3/4 by 5 inch, okay? And let's just go ahead. I need this out of here now. And glue this down. Now you can really see this on the white. So I want to look at where I'm gonna... It's a little bit longer than my piece of basic white cardstock here, so I'm not going to glue all the way to the edges. But I am going to add a little bit of Tombow liquid glue so that I can put this on here and move it around a little bit until that gets tacky. So just a really small bead of that will hold that down. And did I just run my finger through the...
Do you prefer the finger daubers or the brushes?
It depends on what I'm doing. So I like the daubers when I'm doing something like this. The brushes wouldn't have applied it as heavily, and I want that variance there, so that's why I use the daubers. So on this, and also when you have pieces like this, the daubers kind of bend them up, so I wanted to go directly straight down on it.
Okay.
Now, go ahead.
Yeah, that was from Jennifer. So.
Okay. Otherwise, for just adding color, like to DSP and stuff, I love them both. I don't care for sponges as much anymore, just because, I don't know, I just don't use them that much anymore. Okay, so I just trimmed off those edges. I flipped it over and trimmed it off, and now you can really see that kind of variant there.
Looks very nice.
Okay, so we're going to set that aside. Now, I told you we were going to do on this. I want to take, I got a bunch of, here we go. I'm going to take the Evening Evergreen.
Evening Evergreen. Is that a little bit lighter than the daylight?
No, this is the dark green.
Oh,
Evening.
dark,
Think dark. Like Night of Navy, evening.
Night of Navy.
The evening. Yeah, it's the dark green. And I want to ink this up. And the sentiment that I chose, let me grab this again so you can see what I'm doing here. It's a little easier. No one deserves a happier birthday than you.
Ooh.
I know. This is such a pretty card when it's done. So I just kind of want to line this up. Am I in the camera well enough?
Yeah,
and I'm going to put this kind of down at the bottom right-hand side. I have to stand up because it's so far in front of the camera that I can't see if I'm on here straight. Okay. Oh, I should have put my Stampin' mat underneath the Stampin' Pierce mat. So we'll give it a minute for that to transfer.
Let's see. Ooh, it looks good.
Okay, I'll hand that to you. And then I'm going to need this again, so I'll leave that out. And I'm going to get out the Mango Melody. And before I go any farther, I'm going to take my Stampin' Pierce mat. That's what I needed in the beginning. So there are 2 flowers. I'll pull this back in on here. And you can overlap them. And then there's kind of a little, it's like the stamen of the flower, okay? So one is a little heavier than the other one. This one has a little less in the actual stamp detailing than this one does. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that pumpkin pie back. This is darker than the Mango Melody. So I'm going to determine which one of these has a little more. I think this one will be here. And I want this to kind of go off to the side. So I'm going to have it facing, let me make sure I have these kind of the right direction. I'm going to have this one kind of turned at an angle. And up here in the Mango Melody, I'm going to put the first image. It is 2 set stamping. Okay. Hand that off to you, Bill. And then in the, let me get this out of the way, or I'll
put your fingers in it.
I'll take the pumpkin pie with the one that has a little more detailing in here. And I'm gotta stand up again so that I can just kind of line these up. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it is nice to have them kind of lined together. There you go. Okay. Now while I'm here, I'm just going to pull in a little bit of the Tuxedo Black, Memento Tuxedo Black, and just kind of do black for the stamen of the flower. So when I first saw this, I didn't understand how much detailing this actually has in it and how pretty it is. So while I have that, I'm going to take, this is just a stem that comes with it, and I'm going to ink that up. And I want this to kind of come off to the side. So there you go. It's off to the side. And then I chose, there's 2 leaves, and I chose the smaller of the 2. And I'm going to ink that up very nicely and determine where I want this. And I'm going to overlap that just a little bit. Now don't worry if you get it on your Stampin' Pierce mat, because it does.
It wipes right off.
Well, it will stain it, but if you get to it right away, you can kind of wipe it down.
Squeaky, squeaky, squeaky.
Are you like a dog with a squeaky toy there, or what? So that's what that looks like. So that's kind of our stamping in this one. Now let's work on building our base up. And again, this was Evening Evergreen, Pumpkin Pie, and Mango Melody to match this beautiful paper.
Yeah, I know, that looks really nice.
So the other things that I want to show you is, I don't know, I have 2 here. It's because I'm going to make another one of these. Just put it there. So this is actually going to be the card base. This has been cut down to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, which would be normally where we would have it folded, but we're not going to do that today. So this is in Pumpkin Pie. I have a piece of mango that's cut at 1 1/2 by 4 1/2. And then what I did is I wanted a little texture because this is kind of busy paper. So I took the 3D embossing Hive folder. This is brand new in our mini catalog. And I took that and ran that through the embossing, or the Stampin' Cut emboss machine. And then I have a piece of Evening Evergreen, and this is cut at 1 by 5. So you'll need those pieces also. Let's put these aside for a moment. And now let's cut our DSP. I'm going to bring in my Stampin' trimmer because it cuts and scores. And this has, surprisingly, I usually like a guillotine cutter, and I do that definitely when I'm doing my cardstock base, but I absolutely love this trimmer more than any one we've had. So I want you to be aware. So the images of these flowers, when I put this in, are going here to my left hand, and this is going to be the top of, I don't want my flowers being cut this way when you cut it, when it's a 12 by 12. I want my flowers going to the top, so I am going to have this be the top of my card. I'm going to cut this at 4 inches. So all I'm telling you is just be aware of the direction. If I were to cut it the other way, then they'd all be facing non-directional, and I want my flowers growing up towards the sun. So I'm going to cut it at 4 by 12. Now I can make another one. We'll take this piece out. So you're able to get, out of one piece of DSP, you can get 3 cards. Oh, I took
12 by 12.
Out of a 12 by 12, yes, because I took this out.
You got a score.
I got a score. So let's bring this back in. And I'm going to score this at 4 here. And I just made up the measurements. You can change these for whatever you need. For what I was doing, I just did 4. And then I'm going to fold that down. And then on the same side, I'm going to 5.5. No, yeah, 5.5. So that this is like the size of a card base. No, I'm going to go to 5 1/4. I'm sorry. So this is shorter than our card base. I had to think out loud. It wasn't. Okay, so now this becomes the bottom of our card.
The bottom,
yeah.
The base.
No, this is the base, but this is the bottom. Okay, so that our card is going to open in this direction on here. And this gives us an even border going all the way around. You wouldn't have to do that. I just did. My last one, I didn't do that, but it's still just as cute. I just wanted to show the difference, and I'll show at the end. So, let's... use my little green glue, and the Tombow glue I just feel allows me to move it. Some people are very good at positioning. I am totally not, so that's why I do that. Plus it's very economical. Now I know someone will ask me how many cards can you get out of it. I guess it depends on how much glue you use to glue things down. It doesn't take much, but see how crooked that is? So this gives me a moment to kind of wiggle this around and get it into place better. As I say that, I'm not getting this to move on this side as well as I wanted it to. Okay. So now the card opens this way, which is really easy to know what goes next, because then this is my inside of my card. So it gives you plenty of room to write, but then it adds just a funky little element in there. And it's just these beautiful warm tones of orange and yellow. And so this can be done with any of these DSPs, just adjusting the colors. This would work for any layout of these DSPs, just adjusting the colors. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this in. So it's got a 1/4 inch lip here. Okay. So, okay, now we get to decorate the outside. So this is just absolutely cute. Our base is done, and now we can decorate the outside. Well, we already know we have this beautiful stamped thing, but it kind of gets lost because this paper is very busy, colorful.
Bold.
Yeah, and I use the same color on color. So that's where these come in. We're going to get some movement and texture, and we're just going to do the same color family. I also brought in some pale papaya, and this is white, pale papaya and white, it's got a name, woven ribbon. It is a 1/2 inch thick. I love this. So I'm going to just take off, let's see, let's do like 8 or 9 inches because we'll trim it down afterwards. But this is already breaking up some of that color. And so that's why I'm doing it. I'm going to make a focal point and I'm going to break up some of this color. And I am going to use probably a glue dot. Let me see. Let's take a glue dot here. I'm going to make like a, what do you call this? One of those ribbons, you know what I'm talking about? Those, Bill?
Remembrance?
No, you know what I'm talking about. One of those ribbons that, like for awareness ribbons.
Oh, awareness ribbons. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to make one of these to start off, and I am going to take this. Let's move this out of the way for a minute. I'm going to take this and run a little bit of seal on the back just so that I can get this at the angle. I want to turn this. I want to keep this angle that I've got going with the flower. So I'm going to turn this, and I need to see on the base how much this sticks up out here.
Question.
Yep.
Is that ribbon velvet?
No, it is a woven like a cotton, and it's really soft, so it's going to send really easy through the mail and pop down and then pop right back up. That's why I like it. And that's why I didn't put a knot in it. So did you see how I pulled it off and then I'm repositioning it again? Okay, now that's straight up and down. So that's not it. I want more of an angle to it. So it's following my flower, but I don't want it to come. I can trim this, but I need to have just a certain amount on the top. So 3rd time's a charm, right? Just a little bit showing through here. Now I got that angle funky again. Do you guys do this? Are you messers? I'm a messer. I'm going to try the other. Oh, look it. I think that lays better on the other side. So following that angle. Okay. Let me get my little, I'll just trim this off. I got new snips before they went on back order, and I love fresh snips because they're so sharp cutting ribbon.
And they're so on back order?
But they were on back order the last I checked, and I got them before they went on back order.
Okay.
They'll get them back in. They're just,
I know. They probably just haven't got there yet.
Right. Yeah, probably sitting somewhere, right? Okay, so now that I have that done and I see that this is going to fit inside my envelope, that's what I was trying to do, is get that loop down so that it would fit inside my envelope. And I see kind of where it's going to sit here. I want to break this pattern up. So I am looking at using a little bit of the Hive Mango Melody here piece that I had cut to kind of go underneath this to kind of just break that up. So to glue that down, I am going to glue on the back of here and even on my ribbon, because this is going, and I'm only going to go so far up. This stuff is very sticky and very tacky. I'm only going so far up just so that I don't have glue all over everything while I adhere this. So I'm going to move that out of the way so maybe you can see. So I've got it just a little bit of color and a little bit of texture popping out, but this is my focal point, so I want to stay definitely connected to my focal point. But then when you add it on here, it still needed more. So I ended up taking just a bit longer piece. Now you can have it up here. I find though, for those of you have been following me for a while, that sometimes the interest comes in the stacking or the layers. So I wanted to do this, like this is stacked under here. I'm going under here, but then it has the layers, it's still keeping the eye into that focal point. So to do that, I definitely want to glue on this end, because I don't want to glue on here and go over and then have glue all over my project. So I'm going to glue pretty heavily because that is a embossed image there. And then, and I hope, are you telling me if I'm keeping my hands flat enough for them to see?
It looks like it.
So let me try to get that centered on here. Okay. So there's where I'm at. Do you see? I've just got some layers. It causes a lot of interest, and now it's pulling out the color.
That pattern.
It really does, because the paper is pretty crazy.
Well, they say they can see.
Okay,
Looks perfect.
good. It's beautiful, isn't it? So now, here's the same thing. I don't want to glue past this point. So let's take a look at this. If I'm putting this on the card like so, I can go to about here. So I want to put most of the glue on this end. And I love my green glue. For anybody who's followed me, I'm curious to know, for those of you who have followed me or my downline that are watching, did you switch from some other glue after watching me for a while? I'm just curious about that. Okay, so now that I have this, I can position this where I want it, knowing that that's going to stick. Isn't it gorgeous so far?
So far.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Gorgeous all the time.
Thank you, Bill. You're my biggest fan, and I absolutely adore you. Hey, for those of you who are friends of mine on Facebook, did you see that picture I posted of him? What a cheeser in the morning. I'm like, give me an hour to wake up, and he's like, good morning. Mary Poppins, that's who I live with. Okay.
They got some here saying that they did switch from
Oh.
tape runner to the green glue.
And do you find that it holds even in the humidity where the tape runner... I will say this, though. I'm pretty taken with this Stampin' Seal. I actually like this better than the Stampin' Seal Plus. Once you get the hang of using it, I think this does a really good job, but I still can't get rid of my glue because I just have issues with positioning. So I've got my little bag of embellishments. And I already know what I want to do. I know I could have chose the butterflies, which I think kind of go with this suite, but I didn't, because I'm going to use the bumblebees. I love these bumblebees. These bumblebees are the bomb, if you ask me. So they're like a little trinket here. Very, very cute in a gold. And I am going to use...
Oh, they are cute, aren't they?
They're adorable. I always like bees. Did you know that bees should not be able... Bumblebees should not be able to fly? Their wings are too small for their body. And aerodynamically speaking, they should not be able to fly.
Flying bus.
Yeah, pretty much. But they do. They're amazing little creatures. Just keep them away from me. I don't like being stung. So I'm going to take a glue dot and put on the back of this. And I'm only going to do one. I'm going to stick it, I think I'm going to go like that. Because this card has a lot going on as in the realm of color and creativity. Look at how just this paper had like a watercolor wash on the inside of this paper. And so it really plays off to have that extra color. You still have enough room to write your message. You can even stamp a message if you prefer and then just sign it. I mean, but what a cool birthday card. Isn't that just gorgeous?
Yeah. Now, they can win that by sharing.
That's right. If you share my video to your wall right now, your name goes on Facebook and it shows up. Unless you have your information blocked, then it doesn't. But share my video for your wall, because next week, now I want to show you the other one.
Next week or Friday?
Friday, we're going to do a drawing for these. So if you come back on Friday, you can win one of these. Now, the difference with this one is I did 5.5 on this one and only had a little 1/8" border showing on the bottom. It's still the same card, but otherwise this one, you have to get it kind of squared in. So it doesn't matter which way you do it, but really cute. I just love it. I just love it. I actually like the bow on this one a little better, but each one comes out a little different. So now, for those of you who were here last week and shared, we threw all of your names. We have a drawing for this week, or for today. Okay. So we had done a couple of cloud cards with our cloud punch. Do you remember that? A little something to brighten your day. So we're going to do a drawing for these. But if you would like to purchase any of the items from the supplies that I showed you, I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and you can purchase right here on Facebook and my Shop Now button at the top of Facebook. Please be sure to like us and follow us so that you get notifications when we do go live. We do twice a week, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Central Time and Fridays at 4 p.m. Central Time. And if you are watching this later on YouTube, I will have a description link, or I will have a link in my descriptions for you to shop for these products. If you are purchasing under $150, please use this host code. It's right at the end of when you're checking out. It'll ask for a host code. Okay, so there were 42 shares last week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really do appreciate that. And Bill likes to be the drawing man.
Drawing man. Okay. Got two of them here.
Okay.
Mary Ellen Devine.
Mary Ellen, thank you for sharing. I have your address and information. I will definitely get this out to you.
And Brenda.
Oh, Brenda Heinzman. Oh, thank you, Brenda, so much for sharing. I have your information also, and I will get these out to you. So, thank you guys again. Come back on Friday to see if your name was drawn for these cards. Is anyone interested in earning one of these?
Oh, they're sharing all over the place.
Are you guys sharing? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right. Have a great evening, you guys. And we will see you Friday at 4 p.m. Central Time. Take care. Bye.
Bye.